Compound interest magic. Compound interest is when your money makes money, and then that new money makes more money. Let's say you put $1,000 in an account earning 10% a year. After year one, you've got $1,100, but in year two, you earn interest on the full $1,100, not just your original $1,000. That's the key difference. Over a few decades, this snowball effect gets wild. If you start investing $200 a month at age 25, you'll likely end up with way more money at retirement than someone who starts investing $500 a month at age 40, even though they're putting in more cash overall. Credit score basics. A credit score is basically a 3-digit number that tells lenders how trustworthy you are with money. It's calculated using your payment history, how much debt you have, how long you've had credit, and what types of accounts you use. The most common range is 300 to 850, and anything above 700 is generally considered good. This number matters because it affects the interest rate you get on loans and credit cards. A bad score means you'll pay thousands more over time. It can also stop you from renting an apartment or even getting certain jobs, since landlords and employers often check it. Taxes aren't automatic. When you get your paycheck, money disappears for taxes, but that's just an estimate. Your employer guesses how much you'll owe based on what you told them on a form when you started. At the end of the year, you file taxes to figure out what you actually owe. If your employer took too much, you get a refund. If they didn't take enough, you owe money. Things like buying a house, having kids, or contributing to retirement accounts can lower what you owe, which is why some people get huge refunds and others panic in April. Debt is a tool. Not all debt is created equal. Good debt puts money to work for you. Think mortgages on rental properties or business loans that generate more income than they cost. The asset you buy with borrowed money either appreciates or produces cash flow that covers the payments and then some. Bad debt does the opposite. It finances things that lose value or produce nothing, cars that depreciate the second you drive off the lot, credit card balances on stuff you've already consumed and forgotten about. The difference is simple. Does this debt build your net worth over time, or does it just drain your paycheck every month? Inflation erodes savings. Here's the thing about regular savings accounts. They're actually making you poorer. Let's say you have $10,000 sitting in a savings account earning maybe 0.5% interest. Sounds safe, right? But if inflation is running at 3%, your money is losing 2.5% of its value every year. What cost you $100 today will cost $103 next year, but your savings only grew to $10,050. You're falling behind. This is why people invest in stocks, bonds, or real estate, not just to grow wealth, but to keep up with the rising cost of everything. If your money isn't growing faster than inflation, you're slowly going broke. Budgeting, that works. Budgeting sounds boring until you realize it's just deciding where your money goes before it disappears. The 50-30-20 rule breaks it down simple. Half your income covers needs like rent and groceries, 30% goes to wants like eating out or hobbies, and 20% gets saved or pays down debt. If that split doesn't fit your life, try zero-based budgeting, where every dollar gets a job, whether that's bills, savings, or fun money, until you hit zero left to assign. Track everything for a month using an app or just a notebook to see where money actually goes versus where you think it goes. Most people are surprised by the small stuff that adds up. Emergency funds first. Here's the thing about emergency funds. They're not exciting, but they're the difference between a bad month and a financial catastrophe. Before you even think about investing or aggressively paying down that car loan, you need 3 to 6 months of living expenses sitting in a boring savings account. This money isn't for vacations or new phones. It's your buffer against the stuff that will happen, not might happen. Your car breaks down, you lose your job, your water heater floods the basement. Without that fund, you're reaching for credit cards or pulling out of investments at the worst possible time, locking in losses and racking up interest. Investing isn't gambling. A lot of people think investing means picking individual stocks and trying to time the market, but that's basically gambling. The actual proven method is dead simple. You buy index funds, which are basically baskets containing hundreds or thousands of different companies, so you own a tiny piece of everything. You contribute money regularly, month after month, year after year, regardless of whether the market is up or down. Over decades, the overall market has historically grown around 7 to 10% annually after inflation. That's how regular people turn modest monthly contributions into hundreds of thousands or even millions by retirement. It's boring, it's slow, but it genuinely works if you just leave it alone and let compound growth do its thing. Retirement starts now. Let's talk about retirement accounts because most people in their 20s treat them like something that doesn't matter yet. The two big ones are 401ks through your employer and ISRs as you open yourself. Here's the thing that actually matters. If your company offers a match, they're literally giving you free money. Say they match 50% up to 6% of your salary. If you make $40,000 a year and put in 6%, that's $2,400 you contribute, and they throw in another $1,200 for free. That's a $1,200 raise you're just leaving there if you don't sign up. Insurance is essential. Insurance exists to protect you from losses you can't afford to absorb on your own. Health insurance is non-negotiable because a single hospital stay can cost tens of thousands of dollars and bankrupt you outright. Auto insurance is legally required in most places, and for good reason. One accident can leave you liable for massive property damage or injury claims. If you rent, renter's insurance is cheap, usually around $15 a month, and covers all your stuff if the building burns down or gets robbed. Life insurance matters if anyone depends on your income, and disability insurance replaces your paycheck if you get hurt and can't work. Skip the extended warranties and flight insurance. Those are profit machines for the companies selling them. Lifestyle inflation trap. Here's the thing about making more money. Most people immediately start spending more. You get a raise, suddenly you're looking at nicer apartments or fancier cars. Your old stuff feels inadequate, even though it was fine last month. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's why people making six figures can still live paycheck to paycheck. Every time your income goes up, your expenses creep up to match it. The solution is simple, but takes discipline. When you get that raise, pretend like it didn't happen for your spending. Put the extra money straight into savings or investments before you even see it in your checking account. That's how you actually build wealth instead of just looking wealthier. Negotiate everything. Most people don't realize that almost everything is negotiable if you just ask. Your salary isn't set in stone. Companies typically offer below what they're willing to pay, expecting you to counter. When asking for a raise, bring specific numbers about what you've accomplished and research what others in your role earn. For bills like cable or insurance, call and say you're considering switching to a competitor. Retention departments have discounts they won't mention unless you're about to leave. Even retail prices can flex, especially on floor models, bulk purchases, or anything with a scratch. The worst they can say is no, and you're exactly where you started. Asking costs nothing but saves thousands.